for us, Qigong has helped us switch from fear to love. Just being authentic. We're coming on your show today, and we could have just read off some stuff that we wanted to say, or we could just be us.
Cue music. Places, everybody, places. We're starting in 3, 2.
Welcome to the Autoimmune Hour, where we look at the rise of autoimmune disorders. I've brought together top experts that range from doctors, specialists, nutritionists, researchers, and even those recovering from autoimmune to bring you the latest, most up-to-date information about autoimmunity and how to live your life uninterrupted.
Thank you for joining us here on the Autoimmune Hour with Sharon Sayler. Always seek sound legal, medical, and or professional advice regarding any problems, conditions, and any of the recommendations you see, hear, or read here on the Autoimmune Hour, Understanding Autoimmune, and Life Interrupted Radio. Now, we don't want you to worry about taking too many notes, so you can join the Autoimmune Hour's Courage Club, and we'll send you the transcripts and show notes from every episode. Sign up now at understandingautoimmune.com. Now, back to your host, Sharon Sayler.
Welcome, everyone, to the Autoimmune Hour. I'm Sharon Sayler from SharonSayler.com, and it's always my honor and pleasure to be with you here on another brand new episode. And I'm so excited for tonight because we're going to explore something I've only had limited access to. The couple of times I've done it, I've been really excited and really, I'll use the word in air quotes, energized while doing it. And that's called QiGong. And I'm going to introduce you to my guest. We had Beth Donnelly Feller on before, and another expertise that she has a couple of years ago. And I noticed that on Facebook recently, she was talking about her and her husband, Doug Feller, and they teach vocal workshops and masterclasses. They also do QiGong. They're QiGong instructors. And I was like, wow. The few times I've done it, I would really like to know more about it because this time of isolation and everything, gosh, just keeping myself up physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that is so important. So let me introduce them because they've got amazing bios. They have both performed in concerts throughout Europe and North America, and they've produced 3 albums together. And their repertoire of songs includes a songbook, classical crossover, opera, and romantic original tunes. They're an awesome couple. I'm just so excited. And Beth and Doug also co-direct the Glory Singers. That's a concert choir that's seasonal in the Pacific Northwest. And they're also certified, I'll mispronounce this, Beth, is it Satori? Satori method of Qigong. And they teach the ancient life force practice for health and wellness on Saturdays at their home in dojo and now online. And I'm thinking, oh, perfect to be online. They are just so uplifting, and I just love to be around them both. So welcome, guys. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Sharon. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Yeah, as you said, our background is mainly in music. And what was it, about 3 years ago, we became certified Qigong instructors. And what we really loved about Qigong was that we found so much that we could relate to with our music background, because both music and Qigong are uplifters of the human spirit. And so we just dove right in, and a lot of people are in our classes for music, and others are in Qigong, and some are in both. So it's been a really, really nice progression. And as Sharon was saying, just recently, of course, we went online because usually we are in our home music studio / dojo, whichever we might be teaching. And now, of course, everything is online. So, we started out by, of course, with everything that's going on in the world right now. We wanted to just focus on gratitude in the moment and say, I'm feeling good right now. I'm feeling good in this moment. And let's sing a song, or let's teach a Qigong class. And so this is what we've been doing. We've been just kind of flowing with positivity and awareness. So let's talk about Qigong, because that's what...
I'm excited to know more about it because, like I said, I've done yoga, so I know that, and I've done a couple of Qigong classes, and to me they're very different. I'm sure there's crossover. I always feel better afterwards and uplifted and things, but to me, they're very different. So first, let's give a basic primer of what is QiGong.
QiGong is study and the practice of cultivating vital life force energy through various techniques. And they include breathing techniques and posture and movement, meditations, and also guided imagery. And you mentioned it's maybe similar to Tai Chi, and it is similar in that we do teach the gentle movements and flow, but Tai Chi has a bigger kind of showcase of movements, and QiGong has a lot of other things within it that we'd like to get into because we think it's just an amazing practice. And of course, the Qi means breath, life force energy. And, the practitioners of QiGong believe that Qi is in everything in the universe, like in the trees and in all the people. And we believe that, Doug and I believe that God put into his creation breath, and that we need to use it. And Gong just means the work of the practice. So maybe you want to talk about the 3 things that people say that QiGong does for us.
Well, just a little bit of clarification about QiGong. It's an ancient Chinese practice, and it began over 5,000 years ago in China. And it actually is a precursor to the yoga you mentioned, or Tai Chi. It came before. It came before all of that, because these ancient men of monks studying, they became like they had no muscle, because they were just meditating. They were in their mind meditating.
The Shaolin monks.
Mm-hmm. And so then the Tibetan, was it?
Well, our sensei, I think, recently told us that someone came from India to teach the Shaolin monks how to become strong externally and internally. And that's how this practice came about.
And it was very guarded, this practice at first. It was like from family to family, they kept this kind of secret. And now it's the newest thing that's actually coming out after Tai Chi. Mm-hmm. And the things that it does for you, as Beth was mentioning,
these are great,
is it creates in you a flow of your Qi, because we all have Qi in us, and it can get stuck in the chakras, it can get stuck in different places of your body, and it can cause disease because your Qi is stuck. So this creates a flow of your Qi, so internal, external, so that you can create a wellness in your body. Your body can go back to what it is supposed to be. And it has a lot to do with your breath, because the breath is the basic human thing, and the basic life force is the breath. And that the breath brings the Qi into a real circle. Begins the circle of life, I guess.
The infinity symbol kind of expresses it really well.
The Qi is based around circles and the infinity symbol, which is the 8s, the infinity symbol, which keeps going on forever.
And I think that it keeps our immune system really functioning at its best when you move your body and you get centered, and it's supposed to increase longevity too. So we'll have to see about that.
It's interesting that you, as we're talking about this, I didn't comment on it earlier, but at the height of the diagnosis a few years ago, the physical therapist was actually teaching some QiGong moves for us in the physical therapy class to build our strength and build our balance again. And one of the things that I noticed, and I think I keep reminding myself during this current self-isolation time, is I would be holding my breath. It would be sort of a fear response to the diagnosis. And I noticed that, one of the things the physical therapist was trying to get several of us in the class to do is, you're okay, make some space. It's okay to not stop holding your breath. It's okay to breathe. And I think that's what I enjoyed about my little bit of experience with it, was how expansive it felt when I was done. I felt, and I noticed that I was able to then, even without doing some of the different moves, go through with gratitude, and then even later that day or the next day, just remind myself. It brought in an awareness to my body. Oh, am I holding my breath again? And I noticed that in those times of that insecurity around the first part of the diagnosis, and again now, I do tend to hold my breath more than I should. So let's talk about the basics of some of the breathing practices, because, gosh, right now with all the lung issues and things, I think our focus really is on, gosh, how are we breathing?
That's really great that you are aware of your breath and it not being what you thought that it should be, and that you can correct it, because so much of QiGong is mental as well. That's the internal process of QiGong. First of all, when a student comes in for a voice lesson, we deal with breath. When we first came in to a QiGong class, we have them deal with breath. And so there's a certain method that our instructor was just teaching just not too many weeks ago, and it sounded just exactly like how we were trained as singers. And so I told him, he said, yeah, that's great. So, be sure to give that to your students. I probably should give it a little notice that we are Satori QiGong method teachers, and our sensei is Tristan Truska. And he is amazing. And we continue to connect with him at least 3 times a week for further study and practice. And it's really a practice. I mean, if you don't practice, you don't get the results. So, it's something that's ongoing and it builds. So do you want to describe what the breathing process is, Sharon, so that she has definitely a better idea of breathing? Okay.
Yeah. First is you need to have great posture. So if you're,
can we do it sitting? Can we
do it sitting? Yes, you can do it sitting.
You can too, Sharon.
So,
okay, yeah.
So
I'm sitting up.
With your rear end way down on your hips and your body, your shoulders back a little bit.
Okay.
So just a little bit. You don't want to be this way or this way. Just natural.
Under my ears, everyone, if you're just listening to this and not viewing us on our YouTube channel, Understanding Autoimmune, a little bit behind my ears. I mean, you don't want to look like you're stretching your wings either way.
So you feel loose. Your body feels loose, and you feel like your muscles are they're like ripe fruit hanging on a tree. You're loose.
Oh, what a great metaphor, Doug.
So everything is just easy and loose. And so then just put one hand right down below your belly button.
Okay. Does it matter which hand, the dominant hand or undominant?
Okay. Any hand. So just breathe all your air out. And then feel like it fills up from down where your hand is. And the breath should go down there. You feel that opening up and your stomach coming out.
Yes.
That's how you feel. And then out.
So out through the mouth and in through the nose, if I'm following the noise correctly. Is that correct? That in through the nose and out through the mouth?
You can do either, but it's good to come through the nose because that kind of creates a smooth entrance into your body.
If I might just add something in between here, a lot of times people breathe like this, and this part of their body and the shoulders go like that. They're breathing really high.
A little tattletale on myself. But a long time ago, I took belly dancing classes, and I remember I wasn't all that good, but it was fun. A bunch of female friends of mine, it was fun. This was decades ago, but I remember the instructor telling me I kept breathing backwards, and I never understood what she meant until I started into these other things like yoga practices and stuff, when all of a sudden it wasn't backwards. I was only breathing in the upper portion of my chest. It wasn't, in my mind, how can you breathe backwards? But I'd always been sort of searching, like, I don't know how you breathe backwards. But what she meant was that I had I'll just say sort of stuck in fight or flight and rapid high breathing. So just in the upper part of my chest. And you're right, Beth. When I first started to learn body language, my mentor there just said, you know, you're so easy to read how you're breathing because your shoulders are just going up and down like you're exercising. So everyone, pay attention to what your body's doing because it'll tell you how much breath you're getting.
Right.
So go ahead, Beth. So we got to breathe from our whole belly up.
So when you take your inhalation breath, you should be able to feel your hands moving outward. Your belly will extend. It's kind of like when you blow into a balloon, it gets bigger. And then when you take the air out, it gets smaller. So when you use up the air, and the belly will just come in pretty naturally. You don't have to worry about pulling it in and pulling it out. You just take that nice breath, and then you start to sing, or you start to exercise, you start to do Qigong, whatever you're doing. I think this kind of breathing is good for so many things. If that's all you did every day is just do some good breathing and nothing else, that would be a real improvement in how you feel every day. And
if you when you do your breath and practice it, if you can take it in for, start with like 5 counts, breathing in, and then hold it for 3 counts, and then breathe it out for 5 counts, and then hold it for maybe 3, and then breathe in again. So you slow down your breath, and you can elongate so they're longer. But a slow, smooth, long breath really creates the meditative state, which is where we're going for.
And we had quite a wonderful experience. We took our choir to Prague and Vienna and Germany just last year. And when we were in Vienna and we were in the backstage area waiting to go on, we told the choir we'd like them, and they were familiar with Qigong because we had given them some Qigong periodically. We said, we're going to do some Qigong exercises before we go out there. And so we were all doing Qigong movements in the back, and everybody's feeling so good. And then we walked out, and it was the best performance that we gave in the entire tour because they were so filled with Qi energy. And I mean, people gave us a standing ovation at the end, but they also stood up about 3 times during the show because they were so energized by what the choir was doing. So we really feel that Qigong has so much to offer. So I'm glad you're interested in it, Sharon, because I think it's such a help to everyone.
To me, it's deepening my learning because my mentor in nonverbal communication / body language, the first thing that you're judged on when you walk into the room, people say like your appearance or whatever, and it's how you're breathing. If you're breathing high and rapid, people might go, oh my gosh, I'm in danger because this person looks like they're either angry or, scared or because of their high and rapid breathing. And breathing nice and low, I've learned that you can change people's state. Like if they walk into the room rapid breathing and you keep your breathing paced and low and lots of nice long exhales, other people around you will calm down. So I am a huge fan of breathing, and not just because of the obvious. I'm a huge fan. if I stop breathing here, could be not so good. But now with this heightened idea of the coronavirus, my focus has really been more and more, how am I breathing right now? I'll take a break and get up, and I get up from my desk and walk around, and I never used to say, how am I breathing right now? But now I'm starting to focus like, okay, let's exercise these lungs a little bit so they're nice and healthy, regardless of what's going on outside around me. Let's see if we can keep them nice and full and expanded. And
I think you're totally right. And I think it does indicate to people that are watching, if we're breathing high, oh, that's maybe fear in that person, because it could be that. And for us, Qigong has helped us switch from fear to love, just being authentic. We're coming on your show today, and we could have just read off some stuff that we wanted to say, or we could just be us. And since we know you too, that's a lot easier. It's nice that you invited us. And so we can just be ourselves, and we can say how much the internal Qigong has shaped the the fear to not take over, that we can shift from fear to love. And that's a big part of it. It's being able to shift that emotion and notice where your thoughts are going and put a different thought in that place, and to rewrite your thought and to create a life that's that flows.
Well, I want to mention how fast it can shift, because I know it doesn't take hours of the breathing to make that emotional, mental fight or flight shift back into a place where you can come from love and gratitude. And one of the things that I do is little affirmations in my mind, just thanking my body from gratitude of thank you for breathing well. Thank you for letting, my body be healthy and all of those things. And that's what I love about it too, is that breathing to me is central. So I want to get into a couple more exercises. We did a little bit of the belly breathing, and then I got too excited and I interrupted here, Doug. So let's go back to that. We're breathing in for 5, and then we're holding for 3, exhaling for 5, and holding for 3. So let's do that a couple of times, and then where would we go from there?
Well, that kind of sets you up. Tristan, our sensei, likes to talk about a full body breath. So, and it's more of a mental thing. It's your mind thinking that you have all these trillion cells in your body, and they all need oxygen, obviously. And so when you're thinking about a full body breath, and you're expanding your whole body, you're expanding your chest, your stomach is going down, and your hands are lifting. And when on the inhale, and it's like your whole body is alive and vibrant, and all the cells, and you're thanking all the cells for it. And then you're coming down with your exhale. And then you're reuniting your breath in, and you can do that, and you can feel like your whole body is alive and the whole breath is in your body. Those motions are really, really important. I'm going to let our dog out.
They have some new puppies. So let me explain what we were doing there for the people not watching us. So as we inhale, we're bringing our arms up to create kind of a U shape, I would guess, sort of a hallelujah type of movement, I think, when I see this movement.
Yeah, they're open up to the heavens. Like
yes.
Your hands are open up to the heavens. And that opens up your heart space here, your chest.
And this move is called come to center, with the hands coming down through your body like this.
Okay, so now I'm just bringing my hands down. My fingertips are facing each other now. And I'm just bringing my hands down past my face and neck and down to my belly now. I want to mention the belly. I know I'm running down a rabbit hole. Sometimes in my body language work, I get people who saying, but my belly's big. It's, like, look, if somebody's watching your belly and not making eye contact with you, it's their problem, not yours. So just let go of any idea of what your belly is doing and breathe the appropriate way to keep enough oxygen flowing to the system here.
Yeah, wear a
Okay, so I brought myself back down. Sorry, I run down rabbit holes, Doug. Beth knows that, but I run down rabbit holes. Anyway, so we brought our hands back down to our belly, and then where do we go from here?
So that's your exhale down here, and then you begin again with your inhale. So it's a really simple motion, and you feel like all your cells are opening to the sky. You feel that energy up there. You hold, and then out. And if at first you need to take more than one breath, it's okay, but soon you'll get to the point where you can do this whole slow motion with one breath, in and then out.
And then there are times when Sensei has us do a cleansing breath, and where it's much faster, and it kind of comes like this and goes, and we drop in your leg position as well, so you cleanse your breath. So you should really take a class.
It's called the fire. That's the fire breath.
You would love it. You should take our class online.
Yes, I will. I will, and I'll report back, guys. And you guys maybe take it with me. So listeners, take it with me here. You know, it's funny that you say about that cleansing breath. It's really, I see how breathing, you know, I mean, this is the ancient technique, but you could see how it just envelops so many parts of your life. When I think about it, the rapid exhale is a really quick way to just get re-present, re-centered really fast for me. When I'm out about to do a big speech or something, I do two things. I roll my shoulders back really quick, and I do a really sort of forced exhale. And I'm telling you, that makes me present really fast. I'm seeing all these things that I didn't know came from the ancients of QiGong, just things that I've picked up here and there from various mentors throughout my life about how the power of breathing keeps you centered and present. And when you feel a little spacey or you feel a little bit fearful or very fearful, focusing on your breath is what can bring you back into the present moment and help you think very clearly.
You're right.
Exactly.
And our thoughts affect our health and our bodies so much. And you mentioned that a few moments ago, and how it's easy to shift when you practice that shifting. And
yeah, when you're consciously aware of it. And that's my big thing, is making us consciously aware of our breathing. And especially in these times when I saw that you were teaching your QiGong classes, I'm like, that's critically important. Now, we need to take a quick commercial break, guys, but give us one that we can practice during the 2 minutes that we're listening to our commercials. What can we do during our 2 minutes and come back and be ready to start again?
Okay, you can practice feeling the Qi energy. It's called they call it this accordion, where you feel it coming out
like a ball.
Like a ball, and just coming in. And then you can breathe with it too. Just out.
So my hands are in front of me, and I'm just sort of like you said, an accordion. I'm playing an accordion. My hands are going in and out.
Fingertips, they should be like you could put pencils between them.
Okay. So my fingers are spread.
They're spread. And they're relaxed. They're relaxed. And then, so it's just in and out.
And you'll start feeling the Qi between your hands.
And the slower you can go, the better. You can go really slow.
How slow you go.
It's like you're not moving. The Qi is moving you. You're not moving it at all.
Okay, we'll focus on that. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, everyone, and we'll reconnect. So enjoy this 2 minutes of feeling our Qi.
Life Interrupted Radio will return after these messages from our sponsors. It's great sponsors like these that keep this show coming to you every week. Be sure and stop by lifeinterruptedradio.com to learn more.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, I'm Lisa Berry. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for Light on Living. A chance to see new, hear different, and feel more as I shine the spotlight on all the ways to lighten the load of life's challenges. Light on Living is your link to that new way you're looking for, that new understanding that will enhance your life, and that positive connection that will support your growth. So join me and you'll gain insight and start to see things in a new way that motivates you.
OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes. Co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Sharon, and of course you know me from here on the Autoimmune Hour. Maybe you don't know I'm also an author. My latest book is for kids. It's Pinky Chenille and the Rainbow Hunters, a winner of a 5-star Reader's Favorite review. It's perfect for your early reader and a great bedtime story for your young adventurers. Check it out over at pinkychenille.com. That's PinkyChenille.com. See you there. Welcome back, everyone, to the Autoimmune Hour. I'm Sharon Sayler from SharonSayler.com, and tonight we're here with Beth Donnelly Feller and her husband Doug Feller, and they are amazing they give vocal workshops and master classes in singing, and they also have a touring choir that they've been all throughout Europe and North America. And they co-direct the Glory Singers, a concert choir, as I mentioned, and with a season here in the Pacific Northwest, as well as they are certified Satori method QiGong instructors. And today we're talking all about QiGong. We've introduced this idea of breathing, which I think is critically important, especially right now, to be very aware, how am I breathing? And so as we left for that commercial break, we were beginning to feel the energy between our palms. And one thing I noticed, guys, was as I brought my palms together, as I was focusing, you almost felt a little bit of a pressure. Is that, I hope that's normal. It was almost a little pushback, kind of.
Exactly. You feel like taffy or something in between.
That's the Qi.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you have lagungs here, which is an entry point of Qi in your palms.
And that's the palm of your hand. Yeah, that's the palm of our hands Doug's showing us.
Yeah, the lagungs there. And that's a very powerful Qi entry point for your body.
Wow, that's amazing. So we've done some breathing exercises, and now we've felt the Qi. Once we feel it, what do we do with it?
That's such a good question. Because when I was first meditating and feeling the Qi, long before I took QiGong classes, I thought, that's what I thought. Now what do I do with Qi?
Okay, this feels cool, but it's sort of like you said, taffy in my hands. What do I do?
Well, there's, in the flow form, there's a move at the very end where you have Qi in your hands. And our sensei likes to call this the Mr. Miyagi thing, where you go like that.
Oh, so you clap and you rub your palms together.
And you can put it in your eyes, or you can put it wherever you have an ache or a pain or whatever. And just, you can do that. But you don't have to do that. When you finish your QiGong workout, if you want to call it a workout, and you go to center and you are in Wuji position, you are finished and you feel all that Qi. It's already come into your body and cleansed you. So you can do it either way. I think that it's pretty cool, that one move, and it's part toward the end of the flow form, which is what we teach.
One allegory that our sensei told us was that it's like you have a candle here and it's lit. And so that candle represents your life force energy you have for your lifetime. And it's burning. And so it's burning away. The Qi is going. So in QiGong, you're building back your Qi. So you're not losing your Qi. You're building Qi for your body to continue. So the life force energy is being rebuilt all the time if you're practicing QiGong.
Oh, wow. I was thinking, oh my gosh, with your metaphor there, I was like going, oh, I'm adding wax back to my candle.
In essence, that's what you're doing.
Yeah. So, there are a lot of movements in QiGong, but internal QiGong is so important. In the internal QiGong, so you find the subtle flow of energy inside. And when we do that, that's kind of the mastery of QiGong, because anybody can just go through the motions and do, whatever you're trained to do. And you do have to do that first. You have to learn the movements. But when you can go inside and become part of that energy, and you recognize the subtle flow in all of the movements, and the breathing and the movements and the transitions, which are super important, so that you don't do one movement and then jerk and do another one and then start another one, so that the transitions are very smooth and you go from one thing to the other. And that's why QiGong is called a moving meditation. So that's why it's so powerful.
Now, I've been in your bio, I've been saying the Satori method. Describe to us what is a Satori method? How is that different from when someone just says, "Oh, I've taken a QiGong class"?
Well, as far as I know, the sensei who develops a method constructs it according to their skills and beliefs and what they want to do with their Qigong training. And our sensei had a terrible back injury. He used to be an instructor, and he had a studio, and had an injury, and it was really terrible. And he suffered for, I think, 5 years with a terrible back injury. And he discovered Qigong and decided to do it. I think he did Qigong lying on his back for a while, and then from a seated position, and then standing up, and he healed. Everything that he had during that 5 years healed. And so during that time, he developed the Satori method, and that's what he teaches today. And of course, it's probably based on a lot of stuff that he learned from his teachers, but he put his own spin on it, and it's totally from him. And we really respect him a lot. And like I said, we see him online at least 3 times a week to really expand our practice.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. As we're learning Qigong, give me some ideas of how long is a practice of it? Is it 5 minutes? Is it 10 minutes? Is it 20 minutes? Does it matter? Give me an idea of what we would learn in your classes as we go through the process.
Well, our classes are pretty much every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. And they used to be in our studio dojo, and now they're online because of obviously the situation. And people come for an hour. Sometimes we give them just a few moves. Sometimes people that have been there a long time know more. Some of them are acquainted with the entire flow form, but we always incorporate new moves each week and new ways to approach it. At the end of the class, we do some mental Qigong, and that's the internal Qigong and what may have happened during the week, that they use Qigong, either a mental process or a physical process, to get them through a specific trial. Oftentimes we'll ask them what are they going to try and accomplish for the week ahead. And so we always check in with every student, right, after the Qigong classes. Well, we try to incorporate it in, but sometimes we go over a little bit because people love to talk about it, and they built really close relationships with everybody in the class. So it's really quite heartwarming to see the class grow like that. It's quite wonderful. And now we have to maintain a little bit more structure as to how long we can go past our hour, because we have voice students coming in right after that. So we have to make room for the voice classes that are coming through. But, it's been quite an amazing transformation during this time of being online.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. Now, one of the things I want to reflect back to, you said the mental part of it, and you also said it's known as a flowing, moving meditation. We talked about breathing. We did a couple of, I'll call them, they're probably not poses. I guess movements would be a better word, right? Postures. Okay, thank you. There's the correct word, everyone. Postures. Now, as we're doing those different things, other than focusing like on the breathing, I was counting mentally. What should I be doing mentally while I'm doing these different things? Other than trying to keep in alignment.
That's fine. When you first start that, you do have to concentrate on the movements and the postures, and you do. And then after you practice those and you get them perfected to a certain degree, that's when you go internally, and that's where the real magic comes, I think. And that's where you actually concentrate on your inner spirit.
There are postures that are not actually moving, that are meditation. Because there's 3 centers. The Chinese tradition has 3 power centers, or your lower center around below your belly button is your power center. And then around your heart
I started pulling it off.
is your heart center, and then your wisdom center. So you have these three main centers, and then Qigong focuses on meditating at these different centers. And so it's not all movement. So it is a lot of mental stuff too. And so you're asking, now what do you think about when you...
Yeah, I was like, I mean, when you first go walking me through it, I'm counting. I'm okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm counting. But then as Beth mentioned, as a sort of a flowing meditation, I'm thinking, okay, at some point in time, this pacing is going to be natural. What do I do with the extra space?
It's actually the emptying of the mind that it happens for you. We start everything in Wuji position, which is emptying the mind, and it's so empty that it's full, but it's able to grasp an awareness of your internal love. And I really feel like love is, the basic thing for everything that we do. We kind of feel like we're coming from love, whether we're teaching music or we're teaching Qigong or we're doing Qigong. That's the center. And that's what I feel when I'm actually involved in the moment. I'm just in the moment of doing it, and I just feel that love energy. And so I'm not concentrating. At a certain point, you don't concentrate on, well, I'm going to do it 5 times, and now I feel the energy, and now I feel that. But you do have to do that at first until you learn it. It's just kind of like learning a song. Maybe you don't know the words first, so you're looking at the music and stuff, and then pretty soon you get an idea of the emotion that you want to convey in that song, and then the words just come, and the emotion is conveyed to your audience. And the same kind of thing is with Qigong, I think, and only some more internalized even.
That's beautiful. I love the idea of the song. I can resonate with that idea of, I'll say, of the tempo of it or the pacing of it when you said about similar to a song, that I could relate to that. That's really interesting. Yeah.
One thing that also helps is like music like Chinese music that has the singing bowls and different things that have these real meditative feelings in them it's really nice to do Qigong to that kind of music, different kinds of music that are really soothing. So you get the coupling with the music and the movements too. It's a great help.
Yeah. And I've been fascinated by it, as I said earlier, I had a physical therapist early on in my recovery who really, that was what we did throughout a lot of our sessions, was understanding the moves. It wasn't practice like in a dojo. It was in a physical therapist office. But I was impressed by the fluidity and the movement and a lot of things. Part of my autoimmune has muscle weakness. And I was really impressed at how stronger I felt walking out with doing things that were non-invasive, pretty simple, I'll say somewhat painless, but as far as making the movement. Sometimes I couldn't go as wide as she wanted me to go or whatever, but I was really impressed at how fast I shifted and how long it lasted. As we go through the process, in your online class, you're saying it's about an hour to do it. What are some other things that we would be doing in your class? So we've done the breathing, we've done the centering. We talked about being able to flow the energy through our 3 centers. What are some other things that we would be learning?
Oh, you know what? I should really cover this because it's something we do in every class. And I have just learned so much from our sensei's wife, Sabrina, who is a professional dancer. And she is amazing. And she's also a sensei. And so we do classes with her every Saturday morning before our classes. And she takes us through all these amazing dances and routines and exercise programs. And so before every Qigong class that we do salsa. And everybody, salsa, we put the salsa music on and everybody's, just moving, just getting their body moving. And that's a big part of our classes, our Qigong classes. Everybody's ready for the salsa. They come in there, we do it, and then we transform into the Qigong.
Oh, I love that. I really want to encourage people listening to this, as whether you're isolating by yourself or by your family members, is turning on the music, regardless of what it is, whether it's the meditative QiGong or the salsa music, and really get the body moving. Some of the things I've been reading about ways people are doing their recovery from this dreaded virus is doing lung exercises and lung breathing and things. And one of the things I've noticed, dancing and movement, you're breathing, right? You know, I've also done some forced laughter. We had Valerie Shepard on a couple of years ago who explained to us about laughter yoga and the idea that you don't have to be watching a funny movie to laugh. And I'm thinking in my mind at how much you can exercise your lungs by laughing, by salsa dancing, or by meditative, really focusing on the breathing as well. And for me, I'm all for all of it. Anything that can get those lungs moving and keep the air flowing is just, I'm all for it.
You're so right. And all of those things are so necessary. And I know that a lot of people sit at their desks pretty much most of the day.
And hunched over, Beth. I mean, how many of us are hunched over? Or the other one that I think constricts our breathing is, I see a lot in the millennials and the younger people I work with, and that's the constricted, the foreshortening of the neck, because they've been texting or looking at screens too often, so their chin is down. And it's really hard when you say, make your chin parallel to the ground. It's very hard for them. They're like, it is. And you're like, no, it's tucked. So to open up that airway.
Or even at a desk and you're like this, looking at up and down on the screen, it can be very taxing. So I've made it a practice to get up like every 15 minutes, go in the other room, because my office is in our home. And so I could just go in the kitchen, get some water, whatever I want to do. And of course, go see the dogs. But it's really a big help to just take that break and to make sure that I get some walking in every day, some Qigong in every day. And of course, I sing every day. And I've been doing that since I was a child. So if I don't sing every day, I miss that. And that, that's breathing. You got to breathe for singing. So all of this for me is just a reinforcement of that same premise of just really wanting to uplift my spirit so I can uplift other people too when I teach.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to go down a rabbit hole here really quick. And I want to do rabbit hole on the singing. One of the things, share with us, one of the things I went through it myself, but I know other people who say, I can't sing. I'm afraid to sing. And I'm just like, go for it, right? But what are your thoughts when people say, oh, Beth, Doug, no, I can't sing?
Well, if they want to sing, it doesn't matter if they're going to be, a trained opera singer or a professional Broadway star. You can just enjoy music and enjoy singing, in a party or with your friends. Singing is really for everyone who wants to. If you really want to sing, you should sing. It's beautiful. And I think I give lessons to people who are not necessarily training for a professional career, but they just want to sing a little better so that they can sing with their friends and at parties and things. And they're doing great and they have so much fun. So it's like we don't have to be at a certain level for it to be okay to do something. I mean, I used to go to exercise classes and I didn't think that I was really super athletic, but I was doing some stuff and it made me feel good. And now I'm pretty athletic because I just kept doing it. I'm stronger now than I have been my whole life just because of Qigong. I can lift a carpet, and I couldn't do that kind of stuff before, but now my muscles are really quite strong and used to moving, and so you'd be surprised. People should do what their heart's telling them to do. Your emotions and your mindset take you places where you never thought you could go.
Well, it's interesting, Beth. I never thought about strength and QiGong. We only have about 5 minutes left. I want to make sure people know how to find you online, but let's just end with this idea of how QiGong helps build our strength as well, because that's fascinating to me.
Well, Qigong is a martial art too. And so even though we teach mainly the flow form, there are punches and all kinds of martial arts training that go along with it if you want to do that. And we're training with our sensei now, and he gives us those kinds of moves as well. Every once in a while, we'll work it into one of our classes, but mainly it's the flow form. But it's so wonderful to be able to train in a martial arts form as well, because it does strengthen you. And every time we do a wacky workout, we're strengthening. They call it QiGong strong. And so we're working with weights, doing QiGong moves every Saturday. And the weights strengthen the muscles. So if we're just doing this normally in a QiGong class, and on Saturday mornings we've got weights in our hands and we're doing the same thing, it's really strengthening the muscles. And I personally love to do punches.
Yeah, you're good.
So Doug stays out of the way. Doug's always 2 steps behind you, right?
but also even the slow movements, because your mind is into your muscles, that there is surprising the muscle tone you can create and the muscles you can create, even though you're doing the slow form. And the legs are so important. If you're, you can do it sitting down. But if you're doing it standing up and you're into those postures, your legs get a terrific workout. It's amazing. Yeah. So it's really for strength also, it's not just fluff.
Well, I love this, that any level of recovery from autoimmune, it sounds like we could start with the breathing and work our way up. So any level of recovery that you want to do, that we should try this QiGong. So we got about 3 minutes left. I've been so fascinated. Tell us more about how we can find you online and attend a class.
Okay, well, they can go to our webpage, www.jeremiahproductions.com, right? And it's mainly a page for our music, but if you go to what we do, and then QiGong will be there, because that's what we do too. And you go to that page, and all of our QiGong stuff is there. If you want to be on our mailing list, we can give you weekly emails, which we do for our students. And that's all you need to do is just let us know. Did I have something else that was, I think I wrote something
So
down.
you've got that website, Jeremiah.
Oh, I know what I want to do.
Productions.com.
Yeah.
We'll have that up at Understanding Autoimmune for understandingautoimmune.com if you guys want to know how to spell Jeremiah. Go ahead, Beth.
Beth at jeremiahproductions.com. Say, I'm interested in your QiGong class.
Yeah.
Just send me an email. That's as simple as that.
Okay, fantastic, everyone. And that's QiGong classes online. Now, do you do them via, how is it, a Zoom, Facebook, some sort of video conferencing?
It's Zoom. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So everybody's on it.
Oh, so you can see everyone. That makes sense how you were saying you have this community, but you can see everyone. Oh, okay, cool.
We talk to everyone. They talk to each other. They see us in the big frame most of the time, and then we put the frame just on them when we're analyzing some of their moves, and so it works out really nicely.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, wonderful. Everyone, that's Beth Donnelly Feller and her husband, Doug Feller, and they are masterclasses and vocal workshops, and also known as their choir called the Glory Singers, as well as their teaching now online the Satori method of QiGong. And so thank you so much for explaining it to me. I will go over to jeremiahproductions.com and sign up. I'm really excited about it, because little introduction I had a few years ago got me interested. And now I kept saying, oh, when I have time. Now I have time, guys. So I will see you at one of your classes soon. And everyone, have a great week, whatever your adventures. Join me next week for another brand new episode of the Autoimmune Hour. Find us at understandingautoimmune.com, or on social media, it's just at Understanding Autoimmune. Everyone, have a great week, whatever your adventures. Enjoy.
The information provided on the Autoimmune Hour, Understanding Autoimmune, and Life Interrupted Radio, including the websites understandingautoimmune.com and lifeinterruptedradio.com, plus social media, is for educational purposes only. What you read, hear, and see on the Autoimmune Hour, Understanding Autoimmune, and Life Interrupted Radio, and its websites, and other media outlets is based on experience only. The information should never be used for any legal, diagnostic, or treatment purposes. Always seek sound legal, medical, and or professional advice regarding any problems, conditions, and any other recommendations you see, hear, or read here on the Autoimmune Hour, Understanding Autoimmune, and Life Interrupted Radio.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Change and growth are part of natural life, and also part of your spiritual life. Everyone needs support and guidance, especially during life passages. Upgrade yourself with the OMTimes Experts program. With OMTimes Experts, you have access to the best intuitive coaches, spiritual teachers, counselors, astrologists, and oracles. Our team was carefully selected so you can trust. Find out more at experts.omtimes.com.
Grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine and tune in for Inspired Conversations with publisher Linda Joy on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Linda creates sacred space for leading female luminaries, empowering authors, heart-centered female entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers. A soulful venue where guests openly share the fears and obstacles they've overcome, wisdom and lessons learned, and the personal journey that led them to the transformational work they do in the world. Inspired Conversations to empower you on your path to authentic, soulful living.
Research shows we apologize up to 10 times a day, and most of the time, we say sorry as a response to someone else's mistake. What if we thanked people instead of all that unnecessary apologizing? So instead of saying, sorry, I'm rambling, you say, thank you for listening. Join us at projectforgive.com, a free, non-religious resource on global forgiveness.
Hi, this is Sharon, and of course you know me from here on the Autoimmune Hour. My latest book is for kids. It's Pinky Chenille and the Rainbow Hunters, a winner of a 5-star Reader's Favorite review. It's perfect for your early reader and a great bedtime story for your young adventurers. Check it out over at pinkychenille.com. That's PINKYCHENILLE.com. See you there.